Well, welcome to another edition of Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture. We're podcasting on 5/22. Had to do it a little bit later in this week because we had a couple other engagements we had to take care of. Brooks is in a bat cave, which is awesome. I think I see Morgan Freeman somewhere in the background. But we're going to start off this week with the PGA Championship, and I'll let Dusty take it over here. He's our resident golf guy.
Yeah, I guess you guys probably watched it too, but Sunday was pretty fun. Morikawa and Schauffele went into the lead, both at -15. Xander finally got his got that monkey off the back, so to speak. It was not good for my bank account because I've been telling you guys all year, and I've been telling people for years, don't bet on Xander. He never pulls it out. He never wins, and he proved me wrong. Look, he deserves it. He's one of the best golfers in the world. He's proven that over the course of the last few years, and he finally was able to close it out, make that 6-footer on 18 to win it. Biggest surprises of the week were not necessarily DeChambeau. I think people kind of expected after the way he finished in the Masters, he played pretty well. But Viktor Hovland, biggest surprise for me. I can't believe that he came out of nowhere. He's played like shit all year long. Yeah. Remember Justin Thomas last year playing terribly all year. This is kind of what Viktor Hovland's been doing. And then he just came out of nowhere and finished third in a major championship. What did you guys see this weekend from Xander, from Hovland, from DeChambeau? What did you guys see from the leaders?
I'm going to toot my own horn on this one because we were going over the odds last week, and I said Hovland I think he was sitting at like 2,100 or 2,500 to 1. And I was like, something tells me. So I'm going to toot my own horn there, but obviously he couldn't pull it out. But I was surprised by that. I thought, obviously, Schauffele had the best weekend because he won his first major. But I really thought Bryson DeChambeau was a star of this event. He played well. He basically had a historic round and still lost. And I think he really rehabbed his image with what he did with the young boy at the end of his last round, throwing a ball, and some adult grabbed it, and he yelled at him to bring the ball back to this kid he was trying to throw it to. It just made him look like a human. And I think that's something that he really needed more than his golf game to get better.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, you saw what he said. He's like, I'm here to be a character at this point and play a little golf, hopefully in between, which is good. I'm glad he's got it understood, like how to make himself look a little bit better and not come off as harsh and robotic. But I mean, the other story, obviously, I'm super happy for Schauffele. I think we all root for him and Homa a ton in a ton of these tournaments. Also, great. I do remember you, Brian, saying Viktor Hovland, and I think maybe just me or maybe me and Dustin were both like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's looked like shit. And JT actually played well too. I mean, he's looked like shit this year too. Great. Besides, like the past 2 or 3 rounds have been better. He played great this weekend. And Hovland went back to his old swing coach or something like that. I forgot.
Yeah.
He was gonna. I mean, they even said in the telecast that he was gonna withdraw from this tournament because that's how bad he felt about his swing and how he was playing. So I thought that was really cool to see him go out and just like figure it out all of a sudden. Hopefully he stays hot because we all know when he gets hot he's ridiculous. So I guess obviously the other story we got to bring up is the whole Scheffler getting arrested bullshit. So
Scotty Scheffler is a fucking felon.
Well, not yet. He just got charged. He just got charges.
You're right. So all the charges are supposed to be dropped, by the way. Brian, what are you about to say? Sorry.
Did that? I'm sorry. When I saw that, I thought it was an Onion article. I was like, this isn't real. This can't be real. So, I mean, this is a total misunderstanding with the rain. And have you ever seen Brooks, obviously you having the police background, have you ever seen a cop jump on top of a vehicle that's moving?
Yes, but not in this aspect. This is a very bad look for the Louisville Police Department, to be honest with you. There's nothing more I can really say other than that. It was honestly kind of embarrassing. I don't need to see everyone's up in arms about the body camera not being on. The body camera didn't need to be on. There's no way he can turn it on in the split of a second. If he's jumping on a car, it's just not going to happen. But I mean, you can understand the mistake here. Obviously, Scotty Scheffler's one of the nicest guys in the world. So they said, I think they said this weekend that they anticipate all the charges to be dropped. They said Monday that the DA wants to take a further look at it. So district attorneys are, this is his chance to make a name for himself. So he's going to try to get, he's going to try to, I would love to see him try to fight this in court.
I don't know, man. I don't think any DA is going to try this in court. I think he'd be crazy too.
He's going to try to because he's going to get his name out there. That's why, which is shitty. But he's trying to make a name of himself off of a famous person is really what's happening here. So
whenever you think a DA is trying to make names for themselves, does anyone know where I'm going with this in sports?
Nope.
The Duke lacrosse team and the DA named Mike Nifong went after them so hard, even though he knew the evidence didn't prove shit. And he ended up getting disbarred.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I remember that story, but I was pretty young at that point when that stuff was happening, so I'm not super familiar with all that. But yeah, look, let's go. We can go back to the golf. Obviously, this situation with Scotty was super weird, but if you watched the broadcast this weekend, you've probably seen enough of it. So we won't go over it too much detail, but I do want to talk about the golf because he still played great on Thursday and Friday, shot rounds in the mid 60s, kept himself in contention. And then Saturday, by all accounts, everyone that was in the locker room that morning, basically just saying that he was completely out of sorts. His caddy, Ted Scott, who used to be Bubba Watson's caddy, was away. His daughter was graduating. I don't know from high school or college, but they had planned this in advance that the caddy was not going to be there on Saturday. They had a substitute caddy on Saturday. He shot a 2 over 73, but apparently he was just all out of sorts. And still being able to put up a 73 in that scenario is pretty ridiculous. It was the first round he shot over par in 41 rounds. Which is just an outrageous stat. I mean, he's that good, and he came back on Sunday and shot 65 and finished in the top 10. I mean, I can't. What I want to ask you guys is, do you think this is obviously absolute worst case scenario for Scotty Scheffler in the middle of a major championship? Do you think is there any way that anybody's going to be able to stop him if all stays normal and everything's who's going to be able to beat him? Week in, week out.
These guys are professional golfers. They're paid to swing clubs. And I'm not saying they're bad people, but if he can do it, they can do it. They're very talented individuals at what they do. Yeah. They are paid to play. They'll be able to figure it out. I mean, they'll have to figure out a way to catch up. You got to find a way to adjust.
Yeah.
I think it's a mental game too. I think Scotty's just way better mentally. That's the other thing that's frustrating about this whole situation too, is because if this doesn't happen, he's probably sitting there pushing Xander, and it's going to be him, Xander, and Bryson going after each other. And who knows? Maybe Xander crumbles, maybe Bryson crumbles. Who knows? Because that adrenaline dump, and then you get time to actually process everything, and he comes in the next day, probably not shooting over par. I mean, in my guesstimate, but that's super frustrating because we all wanted to see. I would have loved to see him pushing everybody at the end on the last day and see how people react to him being in the hunt and coming after him. Yeah. So
people never thought you were going to catch Tiger, and then Tiger had a massive collapse. Now he had other, off the course issues going on, but I'm not saying that's going to happen to Scotty Scheffler, but people thought they were never going to be able to catch Tiger. And I actually think Tiger's downfall was actually more impressive than his rise. But that's a topic for another day. But I think the field will catch up to him, and inevitably it's a mental game, like Brooks said. And sooner or later, he will have a couple flubs.
Yeah. I do want to talk about the course. The course looked great on TV, but the problem with this course is that it just played too easy for a major championship. The lowest combined score to par by a field. So every golfer that took place in this tournament in the history of golf, the top three. Number 3, 2008 at Belle Rive, it was plus 59. 1995 at Riviera was plus 40. This year at Valhalla, the score to par was minus 214, over 250 shots, easier than the next the next easiest major venue. So the greens were too soft. Obviously, they got a lot of rain. There's not much they can do about it, but everyone was leaving their putts short. And they just couldn't get the ball to the hole. These guys are not used to playing on greens that you and I play on. They're used to playing on greens that are like countertops. And so it just it was pretty crazy to see. Did you guys think that was a problem, or do you think the best golfer still won? It was still a good test of the golf.
I don't like how this played out. I think this is a lot of circumstance. This is weather circumstance. There was no wind. I also believe technology is caught up to this course. That's a circumstance that I don't think Valhalla can really sustain anymore. And this might be the last time Valhalla ever holds this tournament.
Yeah, I would imagine.
They're not gonna get another major unless there's some drastic changes in the course.
Yeah.
They might get some other stuff, but I mean they're gonna have to make some drastic changes and probably hold a couple other lower events to prove themselves again.
Yeah.
You could see amateur events being held there. You could see LPGA events being held there because they don't hit the ball with that distance. But it was too easy.
Yeah. I want to talk about Colin Morikawa. Do you guys think so? He finishes T4. He was tied for the lead going into Sunday, and he shot an even par round when everybody else in the top 10 on the leaderboard was shooting in the mid to low 60s. Do we think this is a win for Morikawa, or do we think this is kind of an L?
I think he's the new version of Xander Schauffele. I can't say that. He already has a major. So
he has two majors.
He's two
majors. So, I retract my statement. I think I'm not going to say he's in a rut because he finished in the top 5 or top 6, for God's sakes, whatever the heck it was. But it just seems like he doesn't have that. He's a middle reliever right now.
Yeah.
Did you just fart?
No, I'm trying to find a charger close by. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see him back. I think he's a superstar. So I don't know. I don't know what happened that last day. It's like he
couldn't make any putts.
He just couldn't make any
putts, man.
Didn't want to go after anything either. Like he just kind of like when other people are making moves around you, I'd rather you just like go backwards and try to be a little bit more aggressive because you know you're not doing. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. If you know you're not catching them, like be a little bit more aggressive and see if you can change some momentum or something.
Yeah. He played well at the Masters too, and he didn't have a great Sunday. He was in contention there too. So I think that's 2 majors in a row that he's had disappointing Sundays, and I think he'll bounce back. Look, he's 27 years old. He's got 2 majors under his belt already. He's got all the talent in the world. He's one of the best ball strikers in the world. So, good for Shane Lowry. I want to shout out Shane Lowry. 62 on Saturday. Went from barely making the cut to in contention overnight. It's good to see him back in the winner circle a couple weeks ago and back playing in form because he's the man by all accounts. And then good for Justin Rose. I haven't seen Justin Rose.
Yeah.
First time I've seen Justin Rose on a leaderboard in a golf tournament in 5 years. It feels like so. Good for him. Yeah. He was a great, very consistent, great player for a really long time. Other notables in the top 25, Fleetwood, Koepka, and Harman finish tied for 26. Harman actually played well based on the fact that the course was not set up for his game at all. It was pretty long, and he had to hit hybrid and 3-wood into a lot of the par 4s, and he still was able to score. Finau put together a pretty good week, top 20. Rory, who a lot of people thought was one of the co-favorites. A lot of people thought he would have a great day or a great weekend. For whatever reason, Friday he just could not get it together, and that kind of tanked his chances. But still finished T12. So it's not like he played terrible golf, but just couldn't get himself into the contention like we expect. And Justin Thomas, hometown kid from Louisville, played really well, and golf needs stars. So. All we want is Justin Thomas to do well. Thumbs pointing up, arrows pointing up for him.
I was watching an interview with Schauffele, and he said neither of his parents could make the PGA Championship. I can't remember what the reasons were. That kind of stinks. You win your first major, and neither your mom nor dad can be there.
Well, his wife was there at least. Yeah. This week's That's a Shame goes to Jon Rahm, who missed the cut after performing terribly in his Masters title defense. He looks like the most miserable human on the planet. Looks like he's regretting his decision. Looks like he's not playing nearly enough competitive golf. What did you guys see out of Jon Rahm, if anything, this weekend?
I saw nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything, but I did hear, or maybe I saw it on Twitter, that a lot of the people were not very receptive of him in the clubhouse. So, which probably had a factor in it as well. I think that's not helping his decision either. I think he's kind of in regret right now. So,
yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see how he goes. Obviously, one of the most talented dudes in the world. Wyndham Clark also missed the cut. Not a huge fan of that guy after a couple months ago. He's talking about how after he finally was able to reach the top of the game, he kind of pulled the rope up after him and didn't let and was talking about how the guys who are lower in the FedEx Cup leaderboard should be afforded less opportunities than the guy in the top. I'm putting words in his mouth. He didn't exactly say that, but that's the gist of what he said. So not a huge fan of him. I'm okay with him missing the cut. Tiger, Phil, we kind of expected to miss the cut. Tiger, I don't know, man. It's hard watching him play. He looked great outside of that 3-hole stretch that he was like 7 over. I think he finished the week at like 8 over. So they take that 3-hole stretch out and he's in contention to make the cut. But sometimes, I mean, like he bladed a ball over the green. Like it looked like me out there. So also Nick Taylor missed the cut. That's big sad face. Still Canadian though. The Orioles are up 1-0, by the way. We're recording this in the middle of the Orioles Cards game as we transition into baseball here. Yeah, Gunnar Henderson is going crazy. He's hitting home runs every day. What do you guys think about Gunnar?
I mean, what is there not to like? Everything is done, I mean, at a plus level.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only one that feels like he's hitting right now. I guess I should say that's recency bias for the last, 3 games or something like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, what's not to like, right? I mean, everything he hits feels like is hard. It's been incredible, but I mean, other people are gonna have to pick it up. Santander, we're kind of don't really know where he's going right now with his knee. So
yeah. So I mean, I think it's time for us to just talk about the older vets on the team, the guys who have been there a little bit longer. That being Hayes, Mullins, Urias, Santander. They're just not performing. Obviously, Cedric's playing great defense in the outfield, but none of them are hitting up to the standards that they have in the past. And obviously you can't run out there with a team full of 24-year-old kids. And you need these veteran leaders in the locker room, but these guys need to start producing. I know the world's not on fire. Like we're still in second in the division. We're 2 games back of the Yankees, but it just feels like moving forward, like we're going to start needing to see something out of these guys. What do you think in particular about those guys right now, guys?
I think you're going to need some guys that are in our clubhouse guys that are leaders. And I know Adley's a leader already. And he's kind of been that since the day he came up, Captain America. But some of these guys, some of the aging guys who are not performing, the better clubhouse guys going to remain on the team, and the less of a clubhouse person you are, you might be expendable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point now where someone's going to have to change. Hayes looks like he's having better at bats finally, which is good. I do love having Hayes in left and Cowser in right. I think that's better defense for us in general. I wish Mullins just looks like he's pressing so bad right now.
He's trying way too hard. I
mean, I think he had 3 at-bats yesterday and saw 3 pitches or 2 at-bats to 3 pitches. I mean, I do like him ambushing and trying to get himself out of it pretty quickly, but I mean, you're gonna have to see some pitches.
Yeah.
This is getting so week to week though with us, like the 3 of us.
I know.
They can rip off 6 wins in a row by the time we do this next week, and then we'll have a completely different view. So why don't we wait till we get to a little bit past the quarter pole and maybe make a real true, at that point you probably have enough empirical data to really make a good decision or an educated call on what we might do moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, we're getting pretty close to the quarter bowl here now. So But I mean, again, Hayes was hurt for what, a month or 3 weeks or something like that. So yeah, I mean, we'll see going forward. But I mean, it's going to get louder. So
Yeah.
Once again, the world's not on fire, but
No.
it's something we need to discuss because it's something that's happening and something we all notice. So I just figured it was something I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
I think it would be good for our listeners. Corbin Burns on Sunday, 11 strikeouts in 6 innings. He looked ridiculous. He's 5 straight quality starts now. It just seems like he's a lock for 6 innings, 1 or 2 runs, and 8 or 9 strikeouts. Even on his off days, he's still only given up 2 or 3 runs. It's been great watching him pitch. Cole Irvin, who took 8 straight days off because I guess Grayson came back and he missed his start. Got 2 innings of relief the other night out of the pen, pitched the 7th and the 8th, I believe, and only gave up 1 hit. What do you guys think about the pitching staff moving forward as John Means is pitching right now? What do you think? Do you think Cole Irvin's going to get more work out of the pen? Suarez is going to stay in the pen, and we're going to keep Kramer. We're going to keep Kramer, Grayson, Corbin, and those guys in the fold.
Yeah, I think we're basically going to keep it exactly where it is. There's been a lot of movement so far already. We're going to need some stability.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to change too much unless somebody has unless there's a huge drop off by somebody in the starting rotation. Because I mean, like you said, there's Suarez and Irvin sitting right there that were pitching great and still pitching great as they move to the bullpen. And I guess on the topic, I did not love the Baumann DFA. Did not love that at all. I understand why it happened, but I think it could have been somebody else. But I'll keep my opinions to myself on that one.
Did we get information based? Did he get claimed on waivers? Do we know?
I don't know.
Does anybody know that? I know McKenna got claimed on waivers by San Francisco. So McKenna is going to San Francisco. Good luck to him. But I don't know if Baumann got claimed by anybody.
While we're on the while we're doing a little research here, trivia time.
Trivia time. There are 8 active players in baseball who have 1,000 career RBIs. Can you name them? There is one caveat. There is one player who is currently active, but not in the major leagues.
Say it again.
Okay.
There's one current player
who have 1,000 RBIs.
Yeah, active. There is one player who is active, but is not currently in Major League Baseball. He's still playing, but he's not in the show at the moment.
Okay. I'm going to go right off the bat because I'm watching the Orioles-Cardinals right now and say there are 2 Cardinals on this list, Goldschmidt and Arenado.
That is correct and correct.
Okay. I can't imagine Freddie Freeman's not there.
He is number 1.
And I think the minor league guy is Joey Votto.
That is the top 4.
Okay. Those are the 4 names I thought of right away. I don't have any other ones off the top of my head.
Gotcha. One is a
JD Martinez.
JD Martinez.
Oh, that's a great one.
8th on the list.
Totally forgot about him.
There's one that is pretty difficult.
Oh, Stanton
is number 5. You picked the top 5.
Okay, so we got 2 left.
All right. Yeah, we got
6 and 7 left.
We'll think about it. We'll come back.
Keep going.
Yeah. I do want to talk about some stuff going on around the league. The Yankees won 7 straight games last week. Very unfortunate for us that Juan Soto and Aaron Judge happen to be 2 of the best baseball players on the planet, as Carlos is barking very loudly.
Not at the table, Carlos.
But yeah, the Yankees took the division. I think last week when we talked, I think we were in second as well. So the Yankees are a couple games up. They're 33-17. They played 4 more games than us. We're 29-17 at this point in the season. Judge has been going absolutely insane. I think he's hitting over 400 in his last 15 games, just hitting the cover off the ball. And their young pitchers have really stepped up while Garrett Cole is out. I did not think their pitching staff was going to be able to handle this while Garrett Cole was out, and they have really surprised me with their rotation. You guys want to talk about them? You have any thoughts on that?
It's pissing me off that they're doing so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't have anything other to add than what you have. I mean, they're hanging. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to do while he's out. So, I mean, not only hanging, but pitching very well. And now that Judge is starting to hit the ball, is scary. We only knew that was just going to be a matter of time. Stanton's even come around a little bit too, I believe. I saw he's had a couple of dingers lately. LeMahieu's coming back here soon if he's not already back, which could be another. Is LeMahieu 1,000?
No.
DJ LeMahieu?
Okay. Nope.
But yeah, other than
Machado.
that,
Machado.
He is actually number 9, but doesn't have 1,000.
Bryce Harper.
Nope.
What?
Wow, really? Bryce Harper? Trout?
Nope.
Wow.
That's
all right. Other news around the league. Brian, you wanted to talk about this. Ranger Suarez has 10 starts. Yeah. He's 9-0 with a 1.36 ERA. He's a left-handed pitcher for the Phillies. You might remember him last year in the playoffs, coming out of the bullpen and just having complete ice in his veins. I don't think he allowed a base runner. Have you watched this guy pitch at all?
I've watched this guy's pitch. He throws frisbees. I don't know how the hell you get this guy, and he's just terrifying to look at. He looks like he's going to eat you when he throws the ball. So I know that's not constructive criticism, but he would scare the hell out of me if I'm up to the dish.
Yeah.
I mean, another guy I want to touch on.
Phillies already have 2 aces on the team. Now they got a third, I guess.
I know, it's crazy. And Wheeler and Nola, I think, have been a little bit behind the 8 ball this year. But obviously, they're both studs, and they've proved that for years and years. And they're going to be fine. I'm not worried about them at all come playoff time. Yeah. Cubs rookie, I wanted to note Shoto Imanaga. I think I pronounced that correctly. 9 starts. In his first 9 starts, he is 5-0 with a sub-1 ERA, 0.84. Outrageous. Ridiculous. What do you guys think?
What's stunning to me about this is he's doing it in Wrigley, which is a bandbox. Like, he should have a much higher ERA than this because a pop-up sometimes goes out, especially if it's windy. Yeah. So this is extremely stunning. I think it's actually more impressive than Suarez.
Yeah, coming from an ex-pitcher, I mean, I love all the pitching stuff. And my favorite thing about him is that he bows every single time he gets a new ball from the umpire.
He does, yes, he does.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's fucking sweet. Yeah. Yeah, it does get windy in that city, doesn't it, Rogers?
A little bit. A little bit.
That's what they say.
Well, my girlfriend Kirsten, who obviously I love to death, we were talking about St. Louis the other day. She's like, "Oh yeah, St. Louis, Texas, right?" I was like, "Oh."
Oh, she's gonna be mad at you if she watches this.
Oh man, call her ass out.
Oh honey, no. St. Louis, Texas.
Quick update. Gibson got knocked around a little bit in the third. The Orioles are up 3-0. By the way, Kyle Gibson is pitching against us right now. Love that guy.
Yeah, very, very frustrating that we have not hit. I get Sonny Gray. I still think we should be hitting Sonny Gray. Lance Lynn should not be having that much success against our lineup.
Really? You love Lance Lynn. You used to be a big Lance Lynn guy. I remember when we signed Alex Cobb that offseason, you wanted Lance Lynn.
I wanted Lance Lynn, yeah. But that was what, 6 years ago?
Yeah, you might be right.
This is why baseball is the best game in the world. It's because Lance Lynn, who looks like he is a cheeseburger and oozes cheese, is a professional athlete and killed us.
My wife looks up at the TV and goes, "Oh my God, who is that pitching for St. Louis?" I said, yeah, and we can't hit this fat fuck right now.
He's the man. He used to throw like
He is.
96,
I do love
97.
him.
He throws low 90s now, but his fastball rate is like I think he throws over 70% fastballs. He's just challenging hitters. He doesn't give a shit.
He's always been that way too. I also love that they were
Love it.
talking in the game last night, and I didn't notice it until they started talking about it. But he's calling his own game.
Oh,
From his
really?
pitch
I didn't know
com.
that either.
He has a pitch com on his belt of his pants, and he's called after every pitch, gets the ball back, walks back up to the mound, calls his next pitch to the catcher. He's calling the entire game for himself,
Wow.
which I thought was pretty cool. I haven't
That is
seen anybody
crazy, yeah.
really do that.
Yeah.
I see some pitchers will here and there will tap it just to say like, hey, here's like this is the pitch I want on this pitch, but not the entire game. He did it. I paid attention to it the rest of the time. Like he called every single pitch.
I wonder that would be a great question for Meza. Like, has he seen it around the league? Does anyone else do that he knows of?
Because I mean, you see it on like, for example, yesterday on Bradish's glove. You see it on his glove.
Mhm.
And he wears it right there, but he doesn't go to it every pitch. He'll just, unless you're adamant, like here's what I'm throwing this pitch and this is what I want. Yeah, you don't see it every pitch.
Or maybe it's
I
a
wonder-
certain hitter.
yeah, like-
he's going to call his shit.
Yeah, and like you said, like I would love to ask Mays if anybody on the Blue Jays calls their entire game themselves either.
Is Christian Yelich on that list?
No,
God damn it, dude.
Altuve,
no.
Oh, that's a good one.
but he's a
Oh
leadoff.
man,
so, I
there's
mean,
got to be an
tough.
Astro on there.
There is a American leaguer and a National leaguer.
Okay, no more hints.
McCutcheon.
McCutcheon. Andrew
Oh
McCutcheon.
my God, McCutcheon.
That was
He
dumb.
still
I mean,
plays. I forgot about him.
Yeah,
been like-
this
it's almost like
last
20
one.
years.
This last one's the toughie.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Shohei Ohtani. Is Shohei Ohtani transitioning into Babe Ruth the same way that Babe Ruth transitioned into Babe Ruth?
So basically, the reason I put this on the rundown is this. Babe Ruth at one point made a decision, or at least the Yankees made the decision for Babe Ruth that you're just going to hit now. You're not going to pitch anymore. Even though Babe Ruth, I think, one or two seasons led the league in wins.
Mhm.
But in this instance, Ohtani cannot pitch, but he's got a higher batting average than he ever has. Now, I know it's only the quarter pole, but if he stays at 350, 360, 370, hits 55, 60 home runs, do you even want him going back to pitching? Do you want to run the risk? Or you just want to use this super stud hitter every single day and not have to worry about any injury risk moving forward?
I think you have to right now. I see a world where you do transition to him being like a closer, maybe if he can fit into that role, if he has the mindset to do it.
That would be sick.
But and then he can pitch more often, technically, I guess. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't think you can not pitch a guy that is that good at pitching.
Yeah. So through 86 starts in his career, he's 38-19 with a 3.01 ERA. 480 innings, over 600 strikeouts. So striking out well over one batter an inning, and his WHIP is at 1.08 for his career. So I mean, he's like a borderline Cy Young candidate every time he goes out to pitch, and he's also a borderline MVP candidate, just DHing. So yeah, I don't think you can take the pitching off the table at this point in his career. I can see, like Brooks said, later in his career, if you want to go to the bullpen or just transition into that full-time DH role. But right now, I think his upside pitching is just, yeah. I mean, and you're paying him $700 million. You're not paying him $700 million to be a DH. Although he will probably bring that revenue to LA in the first half of that contract.
But he'll bring that revenue just in merch.
Yeah. It's also ridiculous that you can't pitch around him because Mookie Betts, who's the second favorite in the NL MVP race right now, is absolutely tearing up the league. Playing shortstop, he was a Gold Glove, Platinum Glove right fielder like 3 years ago. He's playing shortstop now. Doesn't matter. Still ridiculous. I don't think that we've ever seen anything like that. But yeah, I mean, the Ohtani thing, I mean, we need to talk about it as much as we can and just watch as much as you can while you can, because I regret not watching more of Mike Trout when he was healthier, younger, just because the games are on the West Coast. It's harder for us to watch. But I'm trying I'm trying so hard. Anytime the Dodgers are on national television, I'm trying to watch the game because it's such a treat to watch Shohei play.
Mm-hmm.
Upcoming schedule for the O's. While we're still talking baseball here, we have a 4-game set after the Cardinals series. We have a 4-game set in Chicago, in that city that's pretty windy. We're gonna do a 4-game set at the White Sox. I hope we win all 4 games. The White Sox fucking suck. And then we play the other Sox team at home, the Red Sox. And I hate the Red Sox more than I hate the Yankees. So I would like to go 7-0 in that stretch. Would that be okay with you guys? I want to talk about. I don't think we were able to reach it last week because we kind of had a couple of interviews, and we were talking to baseball guys. We didn't want to bring up football, but the Ravens are opening on that Thursday night NFL kickoff game in Kansas City. What do you guys think about that particularly? And do you see anything on the Ravens schedule now that it's out that came up to you or jumped out at you, jumped off the screen?
I think Kansas City's PR team is probably sick to their stomachs right now and is sick of working there.
Why? Because Rashee Rice can't stay out of the news?
Well, no, I mean, Rashee Rice got in trouble again. He needs to get the hell out of Dallas.
No, he didn't get in trouble. He got his car stolen.
He got into a fight in a nightclub.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
And then two more guys on their team just got arrested for marijuana possession. So
you're not allowed to possess marijuana?
I think they're over in. Apparently, if I remember correctly, they're over in Lake Como or something like that. So it's out of
strict
country.
There.
I don't know.
If you're going to get the Chiefs, you get them early. So I like playing them week 1. I know it's at home. I know it's their place. It's the banner night. You know, they're going to bring the trophy out. Everyone's going to be jazzed up. If you're going to get them early.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think just like every year, I'm frustrated by the amount of night games, but I guess I get it because, look, we're one of the best teams in the NFL, and that's kind of what comes with it. But, look, we got 5 night games, possible for 6 in the flex. That's a third of our schedule we're playing in prime time, and that's just a complete – it's out of the ordinary for the players, the coaches, for everyone on the staff. So it seems like it's a little bit it seems weird to me. Also, I want to point out this little stretch in December that we have. So December 15th on a Sunday, we play at the New York Giants. Then on Saturday, the following week, we play the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. And then on Wednesday, which is Christmas Day, December 25th, we play at the Houston Texans. So that's 3 games in 10 days in December. And that's 3 of our last 4 games of the season. I think that's ridiculous that an NFL team has to play 3 games in 10 days.
They should have put the bye on that December 15th week.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know how the hell the NFLPA and in this collective bargaining agreement, let this happen. You know, 3 games in 10 days, we're going to beat the shit. Our team's going to get beat the shit. Even if we win all 3.
Going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, even if we win all 3, fantastic. But you're going to have half your guys are going to have no legs.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't.
It's tough. Brooks, what are you saying?
Hopefully, I don't know if this is. I'm sure Harbaugh is going nuts, and the whole organization is going nuts to the NFL right now. So, I mean that is unbelievable. I mean, I didn't notice that until you just said that. But yeah, I mean, can one of these get flexed or something? Can we get flexed out of one of these?
We can't get flexed out of Christmas. Netflix paid $150 million to see that game. By the way, that's a Wednesday game. Wednesday.
One of the games is against the fucking Steelers, and that's notorious for being a bloodbath. It's a rock fight.
Yep.
Like, I wouldn't mind if we played like Thursday and then came back and played like the next Wednesday. That would make more sense. Like, we're playing the Saturday.
Exactly.
Like, that's ridiculous. And I feel like I heard Roger Goodell talk about this in an interview with that. If this were to happen, like now that with these Wednesday games, like it's going to have to be like a Thursday night game for them to play in this, or maybe he was talking about something else. I don't know. I forget where I heard this at, but I thought that was the deal. But I guess not.
There's been a lot of talk, and I think it's pretty inevitable that we're going to go to an 18-game season in the NFL. When that happens, I think that there should be 2 bye weeks for each team. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that would improve the quality of football? Do you think that would be a good thing, bad thing? What do we think in general about that?
I mean, if I'm sitting at that table and I don't know who the NFLPA guy is anymore, the president, and Roger Goodell's on the other end of the table.
The ex wide receiver. Vincent, Troy Vincent, right?
Troy Vincent. Now he works with Roger Goodell. But anyway, if they're on each end of the table, I'm going to say, okay, we'll do 18 games, but you got to give us 2 bye weeks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is the main bargain for the NFLPA, and if that's what the NFL wants to get more revenue, I understand, but you got to give us 2 bye weeks. And that means you probably go to 2 preseason games.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense. And the preseason games aren't driving revenue anyway. So I don't think it's going to be a huge deal for they've already lost 1 preseason game. I don't think it would be a huge deal. You're adding a regular season game, obviously. I don't think the owners are probably going to like it, honestly. They'll make more money.
Yeah.
And also, like, Goodell said, I know this for a fact, I'm not guessing on this one, but Goodell said it on Pat McAfee show when he was on there that he does not like preseason games either. So if Goodell doesn't like it, it's going to change. So
the 10-day 3-game stretch it ticks me off, and
it's
one of those games with the Steelers. 2 of the games are on the road. I mean, one of them's Christmas. So I mean, the guys are already going to be. I'm not going to say distraught because they're professional athletes. They're paid to do their job, but you're away from your family.
Yeah. One of those games, we're going to be resting one of those games. It's going to be like, Harbaugh's going to like literally sit all of our stud players and just be like, I mean, if we lose, we lose, but we'll give our best shot with our backups. We should win with our backups. So
after that stretch, our last game of the season after that stretch is against the Cleveland Browns, who are, I don't know how good the Cleveland Browns are going to be. They're kind of going to go as Deshaun Watson goes, but if they're in contention for the division, that could be for the division. So we've got 10. We've got 3 games in 10 days, and then our last game of the season is against Cleveland. Obviously, it might not matter at that point, but it might. And if it does, then it's going to be incredibly difficult for the Ravens going into the playoffs.
I mean, realistically, we're taking a layup. I mean, we're taking a knee either against the Giants or the Texans because we have to go at the Steelers because we need to win our division games. So one of those 2 games, I mean, Houston's obviously very tough. New York is, 2 years ago, pretty tough. Last year, not so great. But, I mean, still, even if you lay up the Giants game, then you've got back-to-back games with 4 days, 5 days rest. So, I mean,
to Brooks's point here, this is the beginning of load management in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be. I mean, we do it anyway. I know the Ravens do it every once in a while where you've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
But it's definitely we're going to have to at the end of the season. I don't think we have a choice.
Yeah. Rogers, can you give me a hint for this last player on the RBI leaderboard?
It's AL Central.
We're in AL.
AL Central.
Central? Mm-hmm. There's no way it's Correa. He's too young. Jose Ramirez?
No.
Oh my God! I thought that was a lock. There's no way
Victor Martinez playing.
Victor Martinez?
Victor Martinez.
No, he was playing with. No, not the switch hitting catcher. Who am I thinking of?
Victor Martinez.
He was playing with somebody recently.
There's no way he was playing with somebody recently.
So I'll give you this player also has the name of a very famous guitarist. All right, Carlos Santana.
No,
that's what I was thinking of.
God damn it!
That's what I was thinking of.
Catcher, there you go. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
I should have got it. Damn it. Carlos
Santana.
Santana.
I was thinking Victor. Yeah.
Those
they're the same person to me.
God,
but you guys ripped off everyone else underneath that. So you had Manny Machado at 9. He's got 969 RBIs as of yesterday.
He'll get here this year.
Jose Abreu has got 956. Mike Trout 954. I can't believe Trout's that low. That might say it's something more about the Angels teams than Trout.
Yeah. It's the Angels, and they moved him to lead off. They moved him to lead off like what 4 or 5 years ago, just to get him more bats.
Anthony Rizzo is at 9. There's a ton of guys at 900. Anthony Rizzo, Bryce Harper, Salvador Perez, who feels like he's been in the league since the Stone Age. He's only got 850.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts is like 785. After that, I mean, you start getting weighted. Altuve 765. That was, but he bats leadoff.
Yeah, he bats leadoff. Yeah, I bet you he is up there in terms of doubles and hits and those kind of categories.
Oh yeah,
but,
for sure.
That's where he's valuable.
Why did I just get a text from Floyd? We just got a text from Floyd says Means might be hurt.
That's no good.
No,
this is no good. This is no good.
Especially that we just let go of Bauman.
This is why we can't do these things live during an Oriole game. It's shit like this happens. We're the game. We're the problem.
Oh, the tarp's on the fucking field too. God damn it. Yeah, the Orioles are up 3-0 in the bottom of the fourth, and the tarp's on the field, and the world is ending.
Yes, the world is over.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have Bauman and bring Cole Irvin or Suarez in to be the starter. But
you got to get.
I did look it up. Mike Bauman the waiver claim the waiver period has not gone through yet, so we do not know. Obviously, we are expecting Mike Bauman to be claimed by somebody. His stuff is just too good not to be.
I think
you look like an angel.
I think a close person to the show said that Seattle people already said they're putting in a claim, and I believe the Pirates are putting in a claim as well. They're planning
speaking of the Pirates, did you guys see Paul Skeens strike out the first 7 guys the other day?
That was pretty impressive.
It's pretty ridiculous. Talking about a guy who throws frisbees.
Yeah.
Guy looks like he's major league ready.
Yeah, I would say him and Jared Jones both. I think the Pirates are set up to be pretty good for a long time. The problem is their ownership is still a bunch of clowns, which thank God we just got out of that ourselves.
Yeah.
And then you saw Rubenstein throwing up koozies in the crowd the other day.
I did see that.
Dude,
he's the man. He seems like he's taken to Baltimore so well. Obviously, he's a Baltimore guy, so he would. But yeah, I think he's handled. We talked about this. He's handled the first couple months of ownership about as well as I could have ever expected him to. And I love that he's our owner. I think he's great. I think he's the man.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Yeah.
No, played in the Grunwald Golf Tournament. Played well. Had a good time on Monday, and then had a family function yesterday. So it's been a up and down week so far, and hopefully we get a little bit better. We get a W today from the Orioles.
Yeah. I played some pretty terrible golf yesterday. Yeah, it was just awful. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't know why I brought it up.
All right. You brought it up, not me.
I know. I said I don't know why I brought it up. If you guys want to do a quick draft.
Of what?
Let's do
let me get my hot dog.
Let's do sports movies, 3 rounds.
Oh boy, I got 5% left on my laptop, so gonna have to make it quick.
Oh, let's do it quick. All right, sports movies. Who wants to go first?
Brooks, go ahead. By the way, for everyone on the podcast, get a Costco membership. This was $1.50, and it comes with a drink. All right.
Is there a Costco in your house? Where did you get that from?
It's down the street.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll go Brooks, Brian, and then me. We'll do snake draft. We'll do 3 rounds. Sports movies. Best sports movies. Go ahead.
Christ, you have to. Could have gave us a heads up before this.
Well, just pick your favorite sports movie, dude. It's.
Man.
How many sports movies? I'm not looking them up. Just pick one. I know what my number 1 is.
Well, yeah. Give me remember the Titans number 1.
Okay, great answer.
Bull Durham.
Love that movie.
Give me the replacements.
You get 2, Dustin. Coming back.
Okay. Give me the replacements, and then give me Tin Cup.
Damn it, that was mine.
Almost threw up my hot dog. First bite of my hot dog with the replacements.
That is
That was
my
mine.
favorite movie of all time. If you're not familiar, if you don't know me very well, you might not know that. But yeah, that's my favorite movie of all time. That's never going to change. So yeah, the replacements. Shane Falco.
Hoosiers.
Yeah, that's probably pretty good. Hoosiers and Bull Durham.
All right, I'm gonna pick. I will pick For the Love of the Game because that's my favorite movie.
All right.
But that's not gonna be popular amongst the fans when we send this out to a vote. But I don't care.
You got one more, Brooksy?
Oh shit, I do. You're right.
Yeah, you do. You got to close it out, man.
Give me. Ooh. Man, I really wish you didn't take Tin Cup. Give me The Legend of Bagger Vance, just because I watched that.
Oh my God. I'm going to throw this hot dog at my screen.
I actually don't like that movie either, but that's fine with me.
You don't like that
right?
movie?
No, I don't like that movie.
No.
There's a movie called The Greatest Game Ever Played with Shia LaBeouf. That's actually a really good movie.
If I don't win this, if anyone votes on this and doesn't give me all the votes, I should win unanimously.
Are we doing 3
I'll
or
go,
5?
I'll go Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. Okay, I'm gonna close out with Miracle.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Let's do 5. You want to do 5 rounds?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Let's do
Let's
5.
do it.
I got a couple more in the tank. Let's go Friday Night Lights for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to win, put Booby in.
Number 4 for me, Major League.
Oh my God, we're so fucking stupid. Oh man, I missed so many opportunities. This is what happens for you people at home if you don't do research before you make decisions in your life.
This is what happens to people at home, that when you eat a Costco hot dog, you become smarter.
Are you eating that with no condiments?
Mustard, baby.
Nice. Go Relish, by the way. Team
Yeah.
Relish.
All right, I'm
Give me,
Relish team.
Give me Field of Dreams and
Oh my God. Boy's going to hate you.
Yeah.
yeah, got to.
Friend of the pod, Sean Foy, biggest baseball fan I probably have ever met, and he's never seen Field of Dreams, and he refuses to watch it.
Unreal.
Just out of spite at this point. Man,
I just
there's
looked
one
out my
really
window.
wanna
My
pick.
buddy is asleep in his truck out front of my house.
That's awesome.
Give me for my second one. Give me Caddyshack.
Good
Oh
call.
my God.
Good call. I'll take The
Okay,
Natural.
so
The Natural.
that's such a good movie.
I'm
And
so
that means
happy in
you're
my
done, and I have the last pick. I will take The Sandlot. So, for those of you keeping score, Brian comes in with Bull Durham, Hoosiers, Happy Gilmore, Major League, and The Natural. That's going to be real tough to beat. That's a lot of baseball.
Solid draft.
Yeah. Brooks comes in with Remember the Titans, For Love of the Game, The Legend of Bagger Vance, Field of Dreams, and Caddyshack. I came in with the replacement of the greatest sports movie of all time, Tin Cup, Miracle, Friday Night Lights, and The Sandlot. Yeah, we'll put this put a poll up on Instagram or Twitter or something. You guys can vote who picked the best movies, and obviously we did this on the fly, so we're probably
I'm not happy with my draft.
really good movies. Yeah, I don't know how Legend of Bagger Vance went before Field of Dreams, but look, this is the podcast. This is what you signed up for when you listen to this.
I'm surprised you didn't pick the movie Ed, like the baseball playing monkey or something. Like
I thought about taking Airbud.
Airbud.
Yeah, dude. Airbud, he plays a lot of sports. He's a one of the best fictional athletes of our time.
All right, next time we'll pick what we're doing before we get on the show, so we can actually pull up some research and actually look through some shit.
Yeah.
Is there any we missed?
Oh, for sure.
We missed Rudy.
61.
Oh, yeah,
I don't.
Fuck Notre
Fuck
Dame.
Rudy. Rudy's an asshole.
Slap shot.
Yeah, that's too old for me.
I mean,
Mike
come on,
Jones.
Varsity Blues.
That's great. Yeah, we fucked that up.
Whipped cream bikini.
Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday, a league of their own. White men can't jump.
I love 61.
Yeah,
That was going to be one of mine.
we missed all the Rockies. Raging Bull.
Yeah, it is a sports movie, but
Yeah,
that's not the first thing I thought of.
yeah.
Basketball.
I mean, we missed basketball.
Oh, basketball is great.
With Talladega Nights, I feel like Talladega Nights would be.
Oh, that's a
should be
great
in there.
sports movie. Maybe
Days of
we'll do
Thunder?
this another time, and we'll actually do some research first. All right, fellas. Hey, it's
All
been
right,
another episode of Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture podcast. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for listening. If you're listening, if you made it this far in the podcast, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life, but you need to figure it out. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedules every week and hanging out with me because I love you guys.
Love you too, buddy.
See you,
Take it
boys.
easy, man. You guys be good. See you next week.
See y'all.